I do is my end of the bargain. The only begging that I do is me begging your pardon. Only problem I do is mad problems with profit. Still I rise, my and blue vibes. Yo, it's so weird when people speak to me in Spanish and I don't know it, bro. I tried to learn as much as I could, but still they try to hit me with the complex Spanish and shit. I'm like, bro, just give me the basic Spanish and we could talk. But they'd be like, like, yo, I don't know what the fuck you just said. I don't know what you just said, ma. But kudos to you. Ha ha. Why can't we work it out, my baby? Can we? You said our love would always stand the test of time. Why can't we work it out, my baby? Can we? Uh, don't lie to me, don't lie to me, babe. You from? Yo, Katie's, what's good? How you feeling today, bro? Good morning. What's it looking like out there in the world today? What's it looking like? African accent. How are you doing, my friend? Good morning to you, my friend. You gotta put your voice mad deep when you say, good morning to you, my friend. You gotta sound like a war cry. Some shit. How are you feeling today, my friend? What are you going to do your day today? I want you to be as supremely productive as you can possibly be today. Love the leather cap. I appreciate you, bro, man. You gotta, keep them out your head sometimes. Just keep a cap on, just so that you don't get all that extra shit coming in. Like you see Magneto, right? Magneto got the cap. I got the cap. I do feel like when you have something on your head though, like signals don't like go in as easily. That might sound crazy as fuck, but there's got to be a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like you ever think about something and like think about somebody and they call you, or you think about something and then you see it on your ad in YouTube or whatever. Like I feel like the thoughts are like the thoughts are like being emitted through radio frequencies. So when you got the cap on, I just feel like I can't get in my head at all. But actually, honestly, it's cold as fuck. That's why I wore the hat. It's getting colder. I'm doing my laundry right now though. Back in the Bronx. Been a while since I tapped on your stream. How's boxing going? Woo! Boxing is going well right now. You know how like I'm following my dreams. I went from so many different. I always was following my dreams, but in the past I had stuff like holding me back. Like I had relationships holding me back, where, uh, you know, like if she didn't want to live, if she didn't want to like understand that that the boxing came first. It was like I was always constantly trying to like let them know, like, oh, it's because of the boxing, it's because of the boxing. It's like, no, it's not. It's because all you want to do is smoke weed and go to sleep. I'm like, nah, that's not it. That's not it at all. It takes a lot of sleep to recover from this shit. But anyway, long story short, I just left Jersey. I just moved back to the Bronx. I'm in the Bronx right now. Um, I joined Morris Park Boxing Club. You could do the research yourself and check it out. Very, prestigious boxing gym in the Bronx with a lot of history, professionals, amateurs. But the thing is that the owner of the gym is a champion. His name is Aaron Superman Davis, and he's the former super middleweight champion. So that's my trainer right now, Aaron Davis. He's that guy. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with him. So it's like I'm feeling good, man. I'm chasing my dreams day by day. Yesterday I did no carbs, no rice. I did no pasta, no bread. I ate like a beet salad. I had some baked chicken. I had like some sun-dried tomatoes on it, some eggs. But yeah, I was just super focused on like now I'm getting focused on, okay, I live here now. I have the routine down of when I gotta change alternate side street parking. Like it's almost like obviously based on the sign when you have to change your parking. but you gotta be aware of like where you will be able to find a parking space after. But if you like once you start learning the neighborhood and you start learning where people leave a lot in the morning and stuff, you know where to park right after. You know exactly where to find your space that you need. Yeah, man, the more relationships, the more they pull you back. Chasing dreams requires sacrifices. Yes, bro. This is what I didn't even realize that growing up. I thought, like, oh, I need a woman beside me to do boxing. I need a woman to, like, to go to sleep with, give me hugs and kisses and tell me it's going to be okay, or watch my water bottles and stuff before a fight. All that shit I was thinking about. And then I started realizing, yo, you can't really be too close to people when you trying to achieve a level of greatness, because the thing that inevitably happens is by you trying to achieve that level, you're automatically getting out of the level that they known you at. They knew you at a level where they could, do certain stuff to you, say certain stuff to you. Know you would cry if they left. You know what I'm saying? Know you would bend if they say, oh, it's not working out or whatever. Know that they could pull your heartstrings or whatever, make you feel some type of way. Um, but when you choose your goals and your dreams over like those types of things, you'll see like people change around you. You'll see like people start to say you selfish, or you cared about was yourself anyway. You always put your boxing first before everybody else anyway. They start to make you feel guilty about just becoming like a different version of yourself. Even if it's not, obviously, if it's not even boxing, it could be anyway, anything. Basketball, it could be trying to do better in life, be a better person. The moment you start trying to be like better, it causes like some sort of disruption in your circle. So it's hard because you might take that personally and be like, well, what? Why do I see other niggas walking down the street with a girl and they holding hands and they lovey-dovey and he don't got a car, he living in her crib and all this shit, and I'm like, I'm doing Uber, I'm making, now I'm working so hard, making close to 5,000 a month, you know what I'm saying, working mad hard, doing my boxing, doing everything that I need to do, and then at the same time, everyone's doubting me at the same exact time. So it's like, you know, that's all like a part of the process of becoming like greater. Like people will doubt you, people will, try to make you fall back in line, go back to the old version of yourself so that you don't outshine them, so that you don't make them feel like they not working as hard. Because let's face it, some people gonna work for what they want, and some people is just gonna say, I can't do it. You know, and that just is what it is. Not everybody's made to chase their dreams because it takes lots of sacrifices. I've sacrificed so much for my dreams. Sacrificed relationships, lost my marriage. You know what I'm saying? I don't have my son. All those things so I could become champion. And is it worth it? And I don't want to say it because I didn't sacrifice my son. My son was taken from me by his mother, and she's keeping him away from me. But it's just crazy because like you try to do better, and that's when they try to come and like pull you back down and try to make you become like your old version of yourself. It's just nuts. So you start to see like the people around you that you thought cared about you so much. You start to see them for who they were, who they really are, and then you realize like, oh shit, they only really cared about me when I was in a position that was what they feel was lesser than theirs. Because I'm elevating. I'm elevating every day. Like I said, I moved back to the Bronx. I'm in my own spot. I got my own car. I pay all my bills. I work mad hard. And, when I hit the gym and I'm doing my boxing, I'm also working hard as well. So I'm following my dreams. If anybody around me is like, oh, they start trying to act like they're going to talk to me less and all that shit is just their way of trying to get away from the light because the light is shining like The light is shining the truth on them. They can't be around the truth too much because it just makes them question like, am I working hard enough? Am I working hard enough? Have I actually supported this person? Because a lot of people, you realize like, oh shit, they didn't actually support me. They just said that they supported me, but when it came down to me making sacrifices and doing things that were for me to get to my boxing to its next level, they basically shunned me. Or said that I was crazy for still trying to pursue it, still trying to pursue my dreams and all that. They said, they'll say, oh, you crazy or whatever. Like, you're getting older, you can't do it. You need to just focus on doing this or doing that. Like, I told my mom yesterday, I was like, yo, mom, I can't wait till I buy you a house and property and a car and all that. And she said, Angel, stop. I told you before, you don't got to do that. You don't got to do none of that stuff. I'm like, what the fuck? So sometimes you never know who it could be. It could be your mom. It could be your wife. It could be people around your brother. Like, you don't know how many years I told my brother, let's do this boxing shit. How many years? Now all of a sudden he's like telling me about all these MMA fights he's watching, and it's all strategic. Like, he'll be like, "Why you never thought about doing MMA? Why not do MMA?" I'm like, "Bro, MMA they don't make no money, bro. I'm a boxer. I'm doing boxing. Why you not asking me like what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like with the boxing, don't try to sway me. Chase your dreams and your nightmares will grow tired of chasing you. Yes. And you know what's funny that you said that? I'm gonna keep it real. Hit the like button, y'all, so the algorithm could. It's funny that you said that because I had just the last live that I went on yesterday. Um, I was talking about how I'm not having no more nightmares, and I used to have nightmares every night. Like no question about it, I would have a nightmare. I knew before I went to sleep I would have a nightmare, and like now I'm not having nightmares no more. Like, I get in the bed, I say, okay, well, you got to go to sleep because you want your body to heal from the boxing. It's all about my dreams. It's all about my dreams, and so I go to sleep knowing that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. That I'm chasing my dreams, and I don't feel guilt. I don't feel shame. I don't feel like, oh, I watched pornography yesterday or whatever, or I did this or that because I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I'm not watching the same things that I used to, or listening to the same things I used to, or putting like women on pedestals, or thinking to myself like, oh, this bitch is bad. Walking down the street like, damn, she's bad, or damn, she got a fat ass, or all of that. Like, I put that aside. And don't get me wrong, I'm a human being. Like, of course, I love women. Like it's written into my nature to love women, to love the way they look, their body, everything, their hair, when they talk. But it came to a point where I had to like say like, well, what are you actually looking at when you look at these beautiful women that, that presenting themselves in this way? Am I religious? I'm religious, bro, in the sense that I believe that there's like a higher power, like one higher power that created all things and all other higher powers. So I do try to, give praise to the Lord, whether it's a prayer whether it's a Christian prayer or whether I'm listening to the Quran. It doesn't matter. I definitely believe in monotheism and in one God that created everything. But like I said, like now I'm just on a different level because I'm fighting and battling temptations that are like written into human beings, like overeat or relax when you already did your work, or like creating like looking for women to like fuck and like sorry, excuse me, French. and like realizing that like my energy is sacred. You know what I'm saying? All that energy that I would use to go out with the girl or take her to the lounge or bring her back to the crib and drink alcohol with her, all that shit takes away from my boxing. All of it takes away from my ability to box. So what would I look like saying I want to box? I want to, do big things, take care of I want to take care of my family in a big way, and then like spending the night trying to entertain this girl and trying to, see what I could get out of her and in what way or this or that. Like all that stuff takes away from my ability to focus on boxing. So I just had to come to a point where I had to like sacrifice all these things. And I was even for a long time, I was in like PA and in Jersey, and I was having people say, "Oh, don't come back to New York. It's nothing in New York. It doesn't make sense for you to come back to New York. They're doing this, they're doing that." And the people that were saying that, some of them lived in New York. So it was just like, what? Why are you telling me don't go back and you live there? You getting all the benefits of it. You live there. All the people that are immigrants come here for a reason. There's a reason that they're here in New York City. So why are you telling me not to come to New York, not to follow my dreams, and it's dangerous and all this stuff? And you know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make any sense. But then you realize they were doing that because if you actually achieved your goal, then what would it say about them all those years that they was telling you, like, oh, you bugging, or all you want to do is smoke weed after da 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 da, all you want to do is do this and do that. They wasn't realizing I was smoking weed after the gym and all of that. I was doing all that stuff so I could get some sleep. I could, you know what I'm saying, enjoy the life. But it turned into something bad. It turned into, I got a problem smoking weed. Blue Inferno says I got a problem smoking weed. Big problem. 10 plus years been trying to fight this along with women. Hardest things, man. Yeah, like women overeating, eating your favorite foods, um, relaxing, smoking weed. All those things kind of take you away from your focus. If you're trying to be somebody that's very successful, you don't want to like smoke weed and be like, like, oh, I'm good, because you not good until you like if you really look in the mirror and you decide like, okay, I want to be champion, or I want to be the greatest at this thing or that thing, or better in my this or that, my friendships or family or whatever, relationships, whatever you decide is the goal. You got to think like, okay, what are these things that are stopping me from achieving my goal? And I had to sacrifice everything, like literally, I had to sacrifice everything. And man, like, maybe I lost my wife in the process, but is it worth it to become champion and achieve my goals, and to become the person that I want to be and become super successful where I can move mountains? Yeah, it is worth it, because at the end of the day, you could be Mr. Nice Guy, and you can do everything she says and everything she wants and blah 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 blah. But like at the end of the day, no relationship is promised. You don't want to give up on yourself to maintain something that it can possibly be. Well, that is always going to be up for grabs by like chance. You know what I'm saying? So I can't sacrifice myself to be in a relationship with nobody. I would never sacrifice myself like to be to be feeling comfortable saying, "Oh yeah, I got a beautiful wife," blah blah blah. Because I realize too, like a lot of women are not happy with a lot marriage joint. My love will always stand the test of time. Yeah, like a lot of women, they're not gonna tell you, but a lot of women, like, let's be real, they don't like the position that they're in. They can't do the things that we could do as men. So, and I'm not saying this is every woman. A lot of women, they know what it is from the beginning. Like, yeah, I'm a woman, blah blah blah. But then you have some women, you know, they they become like they want you. They like, I see sometime, I'll be in the street sometime and I'll see like a woman, and she'll be like this. Let's say this is the guy. She's like, "Oh baby, baby, baby," talking to the guy, right? Saying like, "Baby, baby," and they looking at me, and they just like, "Baby, baby, baby," rubbing his shoulder, saying baby to him, keeping him like submissive. And then I thought to myself, like, damn, that's crazy how, like, the person, when they feeling that love and affection, they feeling like it's like, they thinking like it's genuine. They feeling like, this is good for me. This is what makes me feel alive. Somebody loves me. I'm contributing to society. I'm contributing to life. I'm a contributor to life and all that. And then they feel like they feel like full in that moment, but they don't see what it is. They don't see the full picture. And I'm starting to see the full picture because as I start to question, why is it that, like, okay, I got a car, right? A nice car. I pay all my bills. I work all the time. I go to the gym. I'm going to the boxing gym. I got a champion that's my trainer. I'm about to be professional boxer. And I think to myself, like, how is it that some of these niggas, they don't have nothing and they bitches walking with them and they bitches like, holding their hand or doing this with them. But like bitches will complain about me when I talk about science or this, that, or the third. Or like, you know what I'm saying? So like I started to, and mind you, I've had beautiful women, plenty of beautiful women. I've been with beautiful women, you know what I'm saying? Like beautiful, beautiful women, tall, luxurious, modeled out women. But like I said, when I started to realize like maybe the women that I was choosing were seductresses. These women are the women that I was choosing. They're like still of the flesh. You know what I'm saying? So like me trying to be champion, me trying to be champion is like it takes away their power because for them for them, if they with a dude that don't got nothing, or if they with a dude that just, he's taking the train everywhere, or he's like he living at his mom crib or whatever, they may like that more because they have more control over him. They have more control over if they start crying, he's gonna be like, oh, oh. If they start acting funny, he's gonna be like, oh. But like when you put your goals in front of all of that, and you put like nothing's gonna stop you until you become the most successful you could possibly be. They they the ones that you thought were like genuine loving women, you start to see like, not saying I'm not bashing women at all. I'm saying you see some of these women's nature, and you see like, oh, this is the spirit of Jezebel. This is the Jezebel spirit, and this is this is what they was talking about in the Bible. Or this is what the ancient scriptures were talking about in different ways about, different things. And I started to see it. I really started to see it with my own eyes. Like, oh shit, the women that I adored for their beauty and for whatever, for everything that they had, it's like those women were the same ones that they measure themselves on how much attention they can get. So if I'm somebody that's focused on my goals so much to the point where I just want to just be the best, the number one in my field in the world, they feel they feel like the spotlight is not on them. Before, when I first met them and when I was like, like more relaxed and more like, like more led by my emotions and more led by my desires, my temptations, I was more easily controllable by the women that I was with. But once I decided, like, yo, I need to be champion for my son because I have the ability to box, and I've been putting a lot of energy in all these years. I invested like 15, 20 years of practicing boxing and sparring and going to all the different gyms, sparring professionals, sparring heavyweights. And like when it was unorganized, that's when they were happiest. But the moment I decided like my boxing was more important than me entertaining a woman or me making her feel like her joke is funny when it's not, or just being, like the more realer I became, the more I saw the fakeness around me. I see the women that were holding these dudes' hands but leading the way. And it was like an inorganic relationship where the woman was actually leading the man, but the man didn't even know it. The man was like, like felt like he was the man because he had a woman, but in all reality, he was being sucked dry. All his energy, his time was being consumed, and time is so valuable. Just think about it. Like, if I spend a whole day with a woman, we doing the thing, we getting it on. I spend my whole day with her. She's a beautiful woman with beautiful body, and I'm doing all of this with her physically, and I'm doing all this with her time wise. How much time can I invest in myself? You know what I'm saying? Like, in all reality, how much time could I invest in my boxing? When after you go to the gym, you're supposed to eat and go to sleep. Now, how could I invest in my boxing if after the gym I'm tired. I want to go to sleep. Maybe smoke a little blunt, smoke a little something, go to sleep. But I can't because what they're gonna say, you always go to sleep after you all you do is go to the gym and talk about how you're gonna be champion and go to sleep and eat and da da da. That's just their way of just trying to get me to be off my grind. Try to like what you call it, like guilt me into feeling like what I'm doing is wrong when in all reality what I'm doing is right. I'm avoiding temptations. I'm focusing on myself and my goals. But that type of when you choose that life is a very lonely path. It's not as glamorous initially or in the beginnings. In the middle stages, it's not glamorous at all. Like you going to the gym every day, you sparring, you getting ready for fights, but nobody knows you. Nobody knows that they're gonna be champion. Nobody cares. The proof is not necessarily in the pudding yet. Like everything that you're doing cannot be like quantified yet. So they can see that you on your way to the top. They could see like, oh, he's on his way. Like he's about to get this shit, right? He about to really, really get this shit. And they could see it, but is it worth it for them to be around that person when they can't get the attention that they want? When they are attention whores, and this is not just for women, there's gonna be some men around you, there could be some family. When these people are used to getting the attention that they were getting from you because you looked at them in a position where they were higher or where they were this or that, like when you let me check my laundry. I gotta check my laundry. Hold on. You said our love would always stand the test of time. Why can't we work it out, my baby? Can we try? Oh, don't lie to me, babe. Don't lie to me, babe. You promised. Mm. Yeah, but like I said, like I went from like looking up to certain people to then seeing them for who they actually were, and I see a lot of people saying like, oh, they just don't want to hang out, they just don't want to, because who I am makes them feel a certain type of way, and it's sad because it's like I thought that they were a certain person, but in actuality they weren't actually really able to like deal with what was coming, even though they claimed that that's what they wanted. They want, even though like they might be proud of the fact that I was somebody that was doing boxing or whatever, that I was trying to be a boxer, and they would tell their friends, like, oh, my man's a boxer or whatever. But when it came down to me really actually doing everything I had to do to become that, they changed. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody changed on me. So it's just one of those things. Tim, I was having a conversation with y'all for mad long that my laundry was already done, and I didn't even put it in the dryer. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Hold on one second, y'all. Hold on. Oh, my laundry smells so good. Give a love. I'm gonna talk to y'all when I get back in the car. I don't know if y'all wash y'all's jackets, but I wash mine. Gotta wash my coat sometimes. But yeah, I definitely wash my. Why is those pants feel like? Oh no, those are dry. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Yeah. Yeah, so it's sad, man. It's really, really fucking sad. Um it's really, really fucking sad. It's really, really fucking sad, bro. You know, but you gotta leave people in the past sometimes, even if it hurts you a lot. Uh, and it's not always that like in my opinion, I'm gonna be honest with you. I see, like, for instance, you remember how I said sometimes I walk down the street and I see like a woman, she's like holding the guy, like, oh baby, baby, and looking at me. It's the same thing. Like I got exes that they with guys that they're with a certain guy, but they're looking at my page or they want to know about me. They watching me. They not stalking me, but they watching me, and it's just like, so you only happy with a dude that you feel you can control. Oh, I got a Honda CRV 2019. Black on black, baby. Black on black, baby. But yeah, it's just sad. Like I said, they only like they got like a guy that they talking to, and that they're interested in other guys, but they don't want to be with that other guy that they're actually really, really interested in, because to be with that guy will require a certain level of something that they are not willing to like access. Like, it's just crazy to think about it. When you think about it, like so many women, like they'll be like, "Oh, that's my man. Chris Brown is my man," or this is my guy or whatever. But they'll have a man that they fuck with, and then the man that they fuck with is like nothing in comparison to the guy that they claim is like their husband or whatever, the one that they will want to be with, the celebrity guy or whatever. But then you think to yourself, like, why is it that like they want to be with the one that they want, but they don't choose that guy? They choose the one that they can control. So then I started to think, what if the guys that are in relationships don't even realize that they're putting themselves in a submissive position by even being in a relationship, by even being attached to that woman to that point, you are putting yourself in a position where you're not free. And I had to think about that, because I was like, why is it that like all these guys, they walking in the street with their girl, but like women be acting like there's something wrong with me sometimes? Life is like it goes up and down, man. Yeah, sure does. Sure does. So I'm like, damn, they think it like, why is it that like they looking at me, but they got their man right there. Their man could feel that the woman is looking, and then you think to yourself, oh, she likes to play with that nigga's emotions. She likes to be with him, have him worried that she's gonna look at other guys or have, cause it's like it would be no need, right? You in this grocery store, you with your man, look at the shit that you buying. Don't be looking at me. Don't be looking at other guys. Like you chose that guy that you with, so why are you not happy to be with that dude? Why you tell him you love him? Why you tell him all of this shit that's not even true? Why do you tell him like you love the nigga and it's not even, it's like far from the truth? So I had to start really thinking about everything and see shit for what it was. Like, man, bro, I kind of like, I kind of thought it was different. I thought that it was like something else that it wasn't, you know. I remember when I was fat, like I had girlfriends and shit. Much more easier than right now when I'm it's like, it seems like now that I'm focused on myself and then I'm focused on becoming champ, it just seems like women are less attracted to me. But at the same time, more attracted to me. I was in the gym the other day. And some woman came in out of my peripheral vision, like I'm, you know, hitting the bag, pop, 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 hitting the bag, you know, and like I see somebody come in, I hear her voice, she's like, so, you know, automatically when a man hears a voice that's like that, they turn around. Sometimes it could be like a kid's voice, you hear like, and you turn around because you hear the voice is like higher pitched. And then you know, but when you it's like some type of like mechanism for man to, some type of mechanism, you hear that voice and you turn around. So I was in the gym focusing on myself, focusing on my boxing. This woman comes in, even from my peripheral, I could see her body was like, you know, like she had like a vixen type body, even from my peripheral vision. And I thought to myself, like, okay, she's here, great, you know what I'm saying? But that has nothing to do with me. I'm focused on my boxing. So these guys, as soon as she comes in, they start talking to her like, oh, they get so antsy, they start getting so crazy, right? And I'm like, this is what she wants. That's why she walked into a boxing gym. That's why she's like, that's why she's here. That's why she's still talking to you, because she wants your attention. And I noticed that as she was walking past me, she kind of looked at me up and down. And I still didn't look at her at all, because I knew that she's a woman with a, you know, with a certain body type. And I knew that it would be wrong for me to be looking at her body while I'm at the gym. Like, that's not the focus that I need. I need to be focusing on throwing the punch the proper way. I need to be focused on aiming the punch properly, getting it to where it needs to be. So I didn't pay her no mind. I was actually waiting for her to leave, because I was a little like pissed off that it was causing like a scene, and I was like a little bit like, you know, like this is not the club. This is not the club. This ain't none of that. This is boxing. So what you doing here? Get out. You know what I'm saying? When you're done, and that's it. That's how I was thinking. And it's like, yeah, of course that's not attractive to women. You know what I'm saying? Of course they they rather pick the dudes that are like oogling over them in the front. Like, oh, so, like, you know, like just like all up their ass and shit, trying to like, excuse me, like trying to all up their ass, trying to fucking find out this, that, and the third about the woman, when you shouldn't be doing that. You at a boxing gym. Meaning until it's time for you to go, you should be focused on hitting that bag, hitting your jump rope, hitting your sit-ups, hitting the pads, whatever it is that you do when you go to the gym. That's what you need to focus on, not talking to her. But you know, it's the same thing. Like I said, you know, she was looking at me. It seemed like she was more interested in me than the guys that were talking to her. And that's that whole thing, man. That's that whole thing. Like, you know, people want what they can't have. Is that, and it's also the fact that women love attention. Let's just be real. Men like attention too, but it's not in the same fashion. You know what I'm saying? Men do like attention, but it's not in the same fashion that women want. Women want attention in a different way, and it's like women want you to like forget about what you're doing and focus on them. You know, because they can go from saying, "Oh my God, I just met Chris Brown, I met Chris Brown, blah blah blah." Chris Brown started talking to them, and then they realize like, then halfway through the shit, they realize like, oh shit, all he cares about is dancing, all he cares about is doing his music, all he cares about is you know what I'm saying, like things that are like so, you know, about him. Is not like the only time I get the attention that I want is when it's time to, you know, do the do, or when we go out, or blah 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 blah, or when we, you know what I'm saying, when it's this that. So it's tough, man. It's really tough. Give me a second. Hold up. It's tough because like they'll say, okay, I want this guy, that guy, but you know what they really want? They only want the clout and the attention that that man brings to them. They only want the clout and attention that that man brings to them, because in that, for them to actually be the person that that guy wants, they have to be of like a high level of substance. It's just really really wicked out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Like bitches, like I see bitches with super big asses walking all the time in the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? Like all the time walking past me, and you see when they talking on their phone, they're like talking mad loud, and you're just like, what the fuck? Why are you talking mad loud? And it's so it's why you think they talking loud? Well, I'm about to tell you what, Katie's. I'm about to answer your question. But I was thinking, I'm like, damn, why do these bitches be talking so loud on the phone? Like it seemed like they trying to let everybody know they walking down the block. And then what, you know, what is it? It is that. If they're not talking loud on the phone, then they're gonna be doing something to grab your attention. They gotta grab your attention. They gotta try and grab your attention somehow. That's what they live for attention. They need you to be focused on them in order for them to get what they want out of you. And when you're not focused on them, when you focus just on your goals and shit, it really, really takes away their power. So I'm having a moment in time where like I'm focused on boxing right now, but like obviously I'm an attractive guy, strong, tall, you know what I'm saying? I can get most women that I want, you know what I'm saying? Model women, tall women. I've been with women that was 6'2". Beautiful women, beautiful model women, Dominican women, Asian, white, Puerto Rican, all types. Hold on a second. So it's like I had so much more success when I was like more mediocre in my mindset, when I wasn't demanding stuff from myself that would demand like accountability in certain ways. And I just realized like, oh shit. So although I am attractive, although I am tall, strong, this and that, when my mind was more easily corruptible, or when I was at the point where it was like, when I was at the point where like they can get my attention more, that's when they liked me the most. Now they kind of don't even fuck with me because I'm focused on myself and on my boxing. It's like they want to fuck with me. They like the idea of it, of a man that's just focused on himself. It's super attractive to them for a man to be focused on his dreams and focused on himself and focused on attaining wealth and all those things. It's super attractive for them, but at the same time it's like it's a negative effect that happens to them, because if they're not like 100% real with themselves, or a real woman with themselves, then they start to hate, they start to become jealous. And jealousy is a real thing. Is written down in all ancient scriptures, you know what I'm saying? So jealousy is not fake, jealousy is real. It's like that song by Drake, Fake Love. It's like that song by Drake, Fake Love. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's weird. They love you when like 50 said I think they like me better when I'm fucked up and ashy. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's true. And you said somebody said like what part of boxing do people underestimate the most? I would say the part of boxing that people underestimate the most, like as far as sacrifices goes, is I think that like people don't realize, depending on your situation and what type of person you are, and usually most boxers have had traumatic childhoods and have had like, you know, some things that they've gone through or whatever. I would say a lot of boxers have had traumatic childhoods. um I think a lot of people don't realize like the mental pressure, besides actually physically fighting, like the mental pressure of, it's not like the running, it's not the working out, lifting weights, the hitting the bag, sparring, hitting the pads, preparing. It's not that that's the biggest, that's like the most underestimated thing. The most underestimated thing about boxing is the personal sacrifices you make with like family and with the people you love and how they change. I think that's probably the most underestimated part of it, is the changes that you go through by becoming the person you want to be, and seeing, you know, the people that you love change right before your eyes. And maybe they didn't change, maybe you're just seeing them for who they are now. So like I said, the training is, you know, the training is grueling. I mean, you walk, you training, you got your clothes is wet, you in the gym, the door is closed, it's hot, you know, but you know, your heart beating fast and all that stuff, none of that stuff compares to the feeling of loneliness when you start to see people you thought loved you in a certain way, and you start seeing them in a different way, where it seems like they don't actually love you, that they only love the old version of you, that they didn't, that if they truly loved you, that they would be more happy about seeing your growth, and seeing like you're becoming better, you know, getting your diet right, becoming more healthy looking. Because when I start getting my diet right and stuff, I start looking more healthy, I start looking more like younger and stuff. My gray hairs go away fast. I don't know what it is, but it's something about me that like I respond fast to like working out and eliminating stresses. I respond fast physically and just in general. So it was just like it was a lot. It was a lot to see some cup of coffee. Now I think boxer changes with all the money. I mean, yeah, the boxer changes with the money, but like I said, even on the path to doing this, you see, you start to see people in a different light. Like I said, like, you know, when I see women now with their guy in the street and they're like, baby, 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 but then they look at me, and then they look me in a way where it's like they looking at me in a certain way that I already know. I'm not stupid. So when I see that, I'm just like, so all of these women are just settling for what will be, you know, quote unquote less. They all put in the, or maybe it's just for them, having, maintaining their survival involves having somebody that's like a subordinate in their eyes. They need someone that they're more, because I'm telling you, I've done this shit. Like I've even tested the theory by like fucking with bitches that I knew didn't look as good as me or was older than me or whatever, and they all had this same way where they were trying to keep me in a position where I looked at them as some magical creature, some like mythical goddess, or something that was like so beyond something. And all of that time and energy invested into her, looking at her like some mythical being or some magical thing that could take away all my problems and make me feel good in a moment, all of that took away from me becoming someone who can pat my own self on the back. I needed to be the person that could pat myself on the back and say, good job. So it's tough. It's really tough. Ooh, it's tough. Cause yeah, like I said, I see how even the women that, like I said, and then whenever I would talk about things that were starting to open my mind, they would always get like upset and they would like, be like, try to get me to talk, try to get me to go back to like the flesh. And now I understand a lot more, once you have like a lot of time by yourself, you spend a lot of time by yourself and you like slowly get rid of the distractions and the people around you that might be feeding you negative information or stuff that is going to put you on a different tangent or whatever. I started seeing I just started seeing more and more about what it was that I was actually seeing. I started understanding it like damn. So and it's granted, not everybody's gonna be like that. Not every woman's gonna be that way. Not every man's gonna be the same. But there's certain things that are written into human nature that seem to be like codes to keep us procreating, to keep us being like to all of that, like falling in love and shit. It feels good. Now, if you need it badly, it feels even better. It feels better than a drug. So at the same time, it's like, what if man actually followed the Bible and only had sex with the woman he married and only, what I'm saying, did never spill the seed, never watched pornography, literally follow what the Bible and what the Islam says, or what these ancient scriptures say that are religious texts about what we should avoid or do. And what if man actually followed those things? Is it really possible that he could achieve things that are great? Yeah, it is. Even in today's world where you're being poisoned through every vessel, you still have the ability to become something extraordinary. No matter who you are or how old you are. So like it's like these sacrifices, it's like it's like, I look at, like, honestly, like some of these Bible stories, I look at them. Look, it says the Bible cannot guide you to wrong. We make choices. We make choices that bring consequences. It's never God's fault. Yeah, I mean, but let's do it like this. It's not God's fault, right? But I was watching a video. It's not God's fault ever. But I just want to give like an example of something, things that I'm like understanding that it's deeper than what I could ever like understand. Even though I'm saying I'm understanding it. Like I was watching a video and it was of a mouse basically the tail was being held by the cat, and the cat was just laying there chilling, looking around and shit, and the mouse was like please don't eat me, please don't eat me. Now mind you, that small little mouse, it looked like it was just almost like a baby, or like older than a baby, but what could it have been eating? It wasn't eating live animals, it wasn't killing things. So it was probably only just like foraging things that were not non-living, you know what I'm saying? That were plants or nuts or this or that or garbage. So why does the cat get to hold the mouse's tail and have the mouse tremble in fear and have the mouse pray that it doesn't be eaten? Why is that? Why does the universe allow that? Why is that a thing? So like when we say like, okay, yeah, God, there's no fault in God, there's no this, no that. Yeah, I agree, there's no fault in God. God is the ultimate creator. God is everything. God is everything. So I get that, you know what I'm saying? I just don't understand that concept though. of the mouse like praying not to be eaten, and the cat just standing over it, just chilling, like basically like playing with his food or whatever. Like, why is that? What is the purpose of how does like the universe need that? Why does the universe need that? So, you know, Alhamdulillah, all praise to Allah. I don't understand everything. I'm a human being. God is God. I won't ever be able to understand everything. But just the pain of seeing that, like just seeing that for a moment, just seeing that, and seeing the mouse being held by the cat, and the cat just acting like it meant nothing, that the thing was trembling in fear, even though, like I said, the mouse probably didn't even eat any living organism, mostly ate like plants or nuts. Why should it be subjected to such a horrible death and such a painful death? It just makes me question the universe. It makes me question, like, what's the reason behind these things? It says maybe because we live in a fallen world, but why does that particular creature have to suffer in that way? Like, maybe it's deeper than we could, like I said, we could ever understand. It's too much for the human brain. It's too much to understand why that would even be possible. When God takes a life, maybe it's to prevent future suffering. I don't know. But why did the mouse have to sit there in pain and in tortured fear and in horror, knowing that it was going to be eaten alive eventually once the cat was done playing with him? Like, why does the universe allow that? Or why, you said to prevent something from happening, but can't the universe prevent something from happening in a way that wouldn't like make the mouse feel this fear, this pain, or this or that? Or who knows, maybe it was a reincarnated person that was in that mouse that did horrible things to human beings. Who knows? I don't know what it is, but I still just don't understand why things exist in the way that they do. I just don't get it. I can try my best, but I probably will never understand it. And maybe it's not for human beings to understand. So, what could you do, right? What can you do? Suffering is just like hard for me to understand why certain living organisms have to suffer. But what could you do, right? I can only try to be a better version of myself. I won't focus on that. I'll just focus on my boxing, focus on becoming champion and achieving my goals. But yeah, thoughts like that creep into my head sometimes. Like, I wonder what it all means, because the nature of life is unfair. Yeah, seems like it. Really seems like it. It's tough. But my clothes should be dry, so I'm gonna check on my clothes, guys. It's cold out here. Really cold. Yeah, so I'm about to end the live, guys. I gotta do my thing. It's crazy because I slept, pretty alright, but my back hurts. Oh, this shit is gonna need some time, man. Even though I had it on high. That's crazy. Maybe it's because my jacket is wet. And it's making the other things more wet. But yeah. It's making the other things more wet, so maybe that's what it is. Gotta see how hot this shit is getting. It's getting a little warm. Yo, I don't get it, bro. Let's see something. Hold on. All right, y'all. I'm gonna end the live. I'm gonna see y'all next time. I don't know if this is working. It's not like really hot. Is that how it is?
That's weird. Oh, I thought you were there.
Yeah, I was waiting 30 minutes. It seems like it's still wet.